blown out. All right, guys. Well, I'm totally blown out. It's late. I know it's after 11. It's just the way the days keep rolling. Not having a lot of control with the kids, and waking up, and I hit the door, hit the ground running, and this is the first chance I've had to do anything for me today. So this week is Sandbag week. It's calling for about a 50% week. It's what I used last time, but I want to say I used a bag at the gym that was falling apart last time. So every time I was picking up, there was sand going everywhere. It's still at the gym. I'm going off based what I did last week. Last week I used, you can't see this next to me, this 84 kilogram stone for 5 sets of 5 this week. So I had this sandbag that I made up. The last time I used this sandbag, it weighed 110 kilograms ish. That's what I thought it weighed. And it was wet. I didn't go anywhere with it. So I took a bunch of sand out, reweighed it, and I've got it at exactly 85 kilograms. So it should be comparable weight to the stone that I used last week. The program calls for 3 sets of 3. I was going to move it down there where I normally do stones, but the water hose is leaking down there. I don't really want to carry this thing. If it's already right here, you can roll a stone down there. You can't really roll a sandbag. So this is here. I think I'm going to just set up a rubber mat, and I'm going to load it to the wall behind me like I've done before. I think the last time, I know that I have done 3 sets of 3 with the sandbag on this wall. I don't know the exact weight though. But I've got this bag here. I've separated out a bunch of my old sand. That way here in a couple of weeks, I can add more sand to this bag much easier than I have this last time just making guesses. So give me a few minutes to get warmed up. I've got a big plan. I really want to do the 3 sets of 3 here. I've got to have a good warm up as well. I would love to do some front squats inside if everything feels okay and if I have the time, and then some reverse hybrids, and then I do my rowing machine every night before going to bed. So give me just a couple minutes and let's get moving, guys. Sit down. Ooh. Alright guys, that's 2 sets down. Plan calls for 3, but I run a dilemma. That second set was right at 15 seconds. That's what I got by just eyeballing the clock on the camera. I would like to go faster than 15 seconds. And I still need to practice on my runs like I was doing with stones last week, getting my hands back to the top for every rep and then getting back down. So game time decision. Do I go for a faster run, or do I work on the resets every single time? Because those resets are messing with my brain, mess with everybody's brain. Something you absolutely have to practice if you're going to be good at stones. You get up to a contest, and you know, especially if you're loading onto a platform, and they'll say competitor ready, and you get down, you know, like we do in training, you get your hand set all on the sandbag exactly where you want it, and they say go when you pull. It doesn't work that way. Most of the time they want you to get your hands up here on the platform, and you're looking down at the bag. And then when they say go, then you tend to see the athlete reach down, grab, and then fiddle around with it, lose anywhere between 1 and 5 seconds before they ever get the first rep off the ground. They're fine after that, but that first rep always screws with people. So you've got to practice going from hands on the platform straight down to grab at the perfect spot and go. Make as little movements as possible. So I've got to work on that. I need to do that. I need to make no mistakes on this set. Where's my nose torque? Ready? All right, third set definitely wasn't perfect. Still making little mistakes with timing, and I got carried away after the first rep. Instead of going back to the top, I wanted to grab and go again. That's okay. Rough timing off my head was about 13 seconds on the third run. That's solid. What'll be good is when I start looking at the timing. I think I'll have the same bag again in 2 weeks. So what will be really good is when I hit this same bag in 2 weeks, and if I'm doing 5 sets of 5, which I think I am in 2 weeks, or 3 sets of 5, or whatever, I'll look back and see what my PRs are the last time I did this training block. Can I be on target? So if I'm getting, what, 3 reps, 12 seconds, if I can stay on target, 3 reps of 12, I'm getting, you know, 4 seconds per rep, 4.5 seconds per rep, and that's really freaking slow. That's really freaking slow. You know, can I cut that down? If I can cut that down, if I can get 5 reps and average 3.5 to 4 seconds on each rep, that'll be big. I still think a lot of that is me resetting my hands, and then I'm making sure that I've got the right spot when I pick it up. So, but cutting that stuff down, it's the big changes I'm making on this training block with compared to the last training block that I did on loading. Cutting down the times on everything, more reps, more times. You see I'm up here on the wall. Last time I was loading just touching the wall, and this time I'm trying to smack the wall considerably higher, get up on my toes, extend the hamstrings, get the back a little more than I was last time. So constant improvement, and I've got a lead that in 8 to 10 weeks I could have a 150 kilogram stone here waiting for me to load as a PR stone. Be the first, guarantee I'm always going to be the first person to load my own stone. And we may have a heavier stone here, something in the 180 range, which is, you know, almost 400 pounds. Obviously I'm not going to take that one anytime soon, but having a 150 stone here would be pretty awesome. So anyway, let me tear down some stuff here, see if I can get inside, do some front squats. I keep harping on this every time I talk about reverse hypers. People keep telling me that when they're bigger, they get up here and they want to pass out, their head wants to pop off, feel like they're going to puke. Actually, my wife is super tiny and she said the same thing. Your first set always feels that way, no matter what, no matter if you're not in pain. The first time getting up here hurts and you feel like your head's going to explode. Blood pressure's 1,000/1,000. So first set you do, always. You get two options. First set is just get up there and hang for a couple of seconds. Try to let some air out, try and relax. If your blood pressure is going sky high, your face is turning red, you feel like you're going to explode, chances are you're in pain and you just found it odd and difficult to get up here. Made it much easier with my wife by just adding a chair. That way when my wife's 5 foot tall, and this thing's pretty tall. I mean, this thing's not short. This thing's made for me, and I'm 6'2". And I want it, tall enough so my feet really hang down, and they're not going to touch the ground. So by giving her a chair, she can take the chair and get up here relaxed. So she's not already pulling herself and tight to get up here. She's relaxed by the time she gets up here, and then she gets to just let her legs hang, hold on with her grip, and lats. So that's first option. Second option is to get up here like what I just did and do nothing but let your legs hang and just swing a little bit. When I got up here, within a second, my lower back popped in all kinds of places. Not sharp pops, but just a relaxed realignment. After a couple of swings, the spot in my mid back, probably T10, somewhere around there, T9, I don't know, made a pop. And generally, if I hadn't have just done front squats, which those front squats with that harness works a lot of the cervical spine, a lot of around the neck and upper back. If I had not just done that, my upper back would have popped back into place as well. So if you can do those two things to get you started on the reverse hyper, set number one, just relax, learn to relax any way you can get up here and just relax and hang. Don't force yourself to get up here, just get up here, relax and hang. That's set number one. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, let your air out, learn to relax while you're up here. Set number two is get relaxed and just a couple of low swings. Let the strap pull your feet down towards the ground and in front of you, so you can let that back sort of realign a little bit before you have to actually do any sets. That'll help you. It'll go a long ways with the reverse hyper, especially if you find it uncomfortable. All right, I'm still doing these with the super short strap. My feet are under the plates. I've got 2 plates on here, 1 plate aside, and what's equal to about some mini bands, maybe a little stronger, different feel, but equal to about some light bands. I'm sorry. I'm focusing on, I've got the short strap. Short strap's much harder than a longer strap. I want that short strap to pull my legs really far forward, open up my lower back. Right now it's important that I get that stretch and contraction and the blood flow while the spine, for me, is stretched out in front. I want that curve this way in that lower back. My spine tends to curve with my butt sticking back and my chest out, and I need my spine to curve the other direction, like my abs are contracting. Man, it's been a rough week, guys. Long, hard week. Trust me, it's been a long, hard week. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm glad tomorrow's Friday. Man, this week has gone by really fast. Blink of an eye. So with this next set, let me pan down. Let me show you how my feet are set up on this thing, so you can just see my feet swing and where my feet are in comparison to the plates. See where yours are. Plates. The farther your feet are under it, the harder it is. We were talking last week about the use of bands on this instead of plates, and somebody asked me, somebody commented, yeah, but Clint, yours is super heavy, it's not going to slide. And people asked if I had like rubber casters on the bottom. Don't have rubber casters on the bottom. I live in an extremely dusty climate. Everything's covered with dust out here. We had a dust storm today, actually. We haven't seen a drop of rain April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's mid-October. We haven't seen a drop of rain in over 7 months. And I literally mean a drop of rain, nothing. 7.5 months. And it's not heavy. So it slides that easy. But when you have the bands on there, you're fighting against the bands, and the bands are not going to allow you to use near as much momentum to get everything swinging, and it's still going to use a whole lot of your back muscles. It's still going to pull you forward. It's still going to be a great therapy tool, and as you extend, it's still going to be a lot of lower back, glutes, hamstrings, hips, whatever it is you're wanting to target. And it's important to know what you want to target on each and every set, because your foot position is going to determine which muscles you're working. If it's absolutely killing your back, look and make sure your toes aren't pointed out. If your toes are pointed out and your heels in, you may be putting every bit of the pressure right there on your spine when you need to be stretching the hamstrings and the mid-back, the mid-spine. So work on the different foot positions. It makes a huge difference in how you feel this. Good, solid training session today. It's, I keep talking about in my training week and everything that I do, my training week, month, block, how I'm looking at my entire year. We've talked a lot the last several weeks about shrinking and expanding the core lifts and accessories. So today is definitely one of those days where, if you look at my training week, began on Sunday night with log press, very high percents on log, very low reps, very low volume. I skipped accessory work because I was sick. Monday I felt really bad as well. Ended up not deadlifting till 2 a.m. Log pressed at 1 a.m. I was sick. Monday at 2 a.m. I deadlifted. Once again, I pulled a 100%. 100% for my training block anyway. Not a true max, but a 100% based on what my program was based on. And I pulled it for a solid triple. And then I cut as many accessories as possible and called it there. I've kept my cardio every single night, doing a little bit of abs as well. So we had, very specific, heavy, simple Monday and Tuesday. Very little accessories. Wednesday, one set of 5. One set of 5 on box squats. My knee's been hurting. That's the only reason why I went in and did not deload, because I knew all I had to do was one set. And I came away with 7 reps on my 5-rep set. So that was really solid. But because there was really low volume there and I felt really good, I went on ahead and did quite a bit of glute ham raises, leg curls. I was going to do some front squats but held off because I wanted to do front squats today. Did a bunch of push-ups, pull-ups, and some super yoke walk. So because everything was simple on the core lift, I got to go complex. I got to expand on the accessories. Comes down to today. Now we look at 2 weeks ago, I came outside and did a max stone. It was the peak of everything. It was, I was really, really nervous, and I went to failure a couple times on that day. After I've already been to failure a couple of times on Atlas stones, what else do I really need to do on a training session besides some therapy work? Not much. I look at something like today, a very light sandbag, 3 sets of 3, skill work is what we worked on today. Being faster, being able to listen to the referee say go, grab the sandbag and go, be very quick and don't make mistakes. So that gives me a lot of room to work on other stuff that's going to improve my deadlift, my squat, and my stones in the future. Okay, so right now, everything that I'm going to be doing on stones and sandbags is going to be lightweight, skill work, and a lot of volume. Lightweight skill work or a lot of volume. So if I'm not killing myself on the core lift, if I'm not blowing up the core lift, it's going to give me a lot of opportunity to come back out and do a ton of accessories, so that way whenever I pull the accessories, I've actually built the core lift. I hope that makes sense, because I know one of my biggest issues on the Atlas stones is getting the height, getting the full triple extension, getting the explosion out of the bottom and getting it up to the top. One of the biggest builders for that for me is the front squats with chains. So I need to be doing front squats with chains. So if I just came out and did max stones, do I have any business going back and finishing off with front squats with chains? Absolutely not. I should be dead and cooked from stones. But if I'm not cooked from stones, if I'm not cooked from sandbags, and sandbags take very little time to set up, clean up, I don't have to clean off the tacky off my hands, so I can just basically drop the sandbag, almost leave it where it is, and go inside and do my front squats. I can start building an explosive front squat. That explosive front squat will start to build that max stone load weeks before it actually gets here. And that's important to be able to see into the future, to make sure your accessories are building into the future. So you got your core lift and you've got your accessories. So if the core lift right now is ease of use down here, then I can do more of the accessories, so that as that core lift, as that stone starts to raise up in weight and intensity, I can lower the core lifts down and make it more basic. I know this goes completely against the concept of like the conjugate method, where everything is like this all the way across, but I beg to argue that if I'm always in balance like this, then it's not linear periodization. Linear periodization is high volume, low weight, or high volume, low weight, wherever you want to put it down here, and then you start going heavier in weight, lower in volume. You get detrained. So if everything's going like this, there's a balance, just like in the conjugate method, straight across the middle. If I came out next week, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, instead of 10 weeks from now, and I'm supposed to go for a PR on stones, I'd almost guarantee you I'm ready for a PR. I'm just being a little bit safer about it right now by training it lighter. I'm still being a little bit safer right now by building it with the accessory lifts. I hope that makes some kind of sense. Really hope that does. Hope you can think that through and it makes some kind of sense. So anyway, the front squats with the harness, that's absolute great work. I can tell I have not done them, I don't know, a couple years. I need to start doing them on the weeks that I do the sandbags. I don't know if I can do them on the weeks that I do stones, because stones take a lot of time and effort to set up and tear down, unless I already have the front squats set up, which it takes a little bit of a while to set up because I've got bars and plates and everything to move around inside. But the basic premise of that was 5 sets of 2, 70 kilograms. You're looking at we're looking at 50% or a little bit less of what my stone is, and then I had 55 pounds of chain on there. I just wanted to give it a play. My knee doesn't feel great, my hip doesn't feel great, it doesn't hurt, but it doesn't feel great, and I can tell I haven't done that lift in a long time, so did not want to take any chances. Get the feel of the movement. Next week, if I feel good, I can do it again. Maybe I can do it on deadlift day instead of loading day. In 2 weeks, I can push it a little bit more, add some more chains, add 10 pounds per side, and continue, as long as it's explosive. That's the idea. It's got to be explosive at the top. Otherwise, it's not going to carry over to the Atlas stone load, where I need to be explosive at the top. Back out here to the reverse hypers, mostly therapy work. With the bands, it does allow me to use a lot of hips, hamstrings, and the entire back muscles as I extend. And because it's got the bands on there, it's pulling me forward, making it a really big therapy exercise. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to get in front of a fan, try to cool off, eat some food, do about an hour or two's worth of work, and hit the road before I go to bed. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. I've got a couple days of rest before I get to train again. Don't know what I'll do with myself. Probably eat. That's probably what I'm going to do, is eat. Anyway, guys, I know I'm long-winded, but I think this is the day where I get to teach the most. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, guys, have a good one. See you on Sunday.